Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the meeting that did happen between Ronald Koeman, Joan Laporta, Matteo Alemany and Ronald Koeman's representative. Then we are going to be moving on towards Wijnaldum and the transfer of this player moving to FC Barcelona. And then lastly we are going to be talking about the latest updates regarding Sergi, Roberto and Sergio Busquets. There is so much that we do need to discuss in today's video, but before we do get into today's daily news, I do want to talk about the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app has been considered as the best football app you could find on the App Store when it comes to getting updated on the match stats, the player stats, where the club does stand within the league. All of that is going to be within one app. You will be updated on the spot and live. And one of the greatest things that the OneFootball app does provide is it will keep you up to date on the stories that is going on in the football world. And knowing that we are going into a very intense transfer window, seeing the amount of tournaments that is going to be taking place, the OneFootball app is going to be needed. And so the link is going to be in the description box down below. You would be able to click that link. It'll take you straight to the App Store. You would be able to download it. After you do download it, pick your desired team and then turn on the push notifications. And I also do want to thank the OneFootball app for supporting a content creator such as me. But now let's get back into the video. And starting with the story that's going on between Ronald Koeman and Joan Laporta. So yesterday there was this meeting between Ronald Koeman, Joan Laporta and Koeman's agent, and many were speculating that this was going to be a meeting that's going to be considered as a very definitive meeting where we are going to know if Koeman is going to be leaving Barcelona within the next few days, but only to find out that it was not necessarily a definitive meeting. We did not get that much information either. And it says here, according to Rack 1, the meeting conclusion is that there is no definitive decision that has been made. There will be more meetings that will take place and there is no scenario that is ruled out. And then we also do have Helena Condis, who has stated Koeman continues for now. The club says that there will be more meetings with the coach. This meeting lasted around 30 to 35 minutes. So yes, it is true that there has been nothing definitive about this meeting. So as things currently do stand, Ronald Koeman is still the coach of FC Barcelona. But then we have the agent of Ronald Koeman speak something about his future. And it says here, and this is what he did say: the feeling is positive. It's even that good that Ronald might even stay longer past the 2021-2022 season. But we are not this far yet. More conversations will follow. And here's the one thing that I do want to make very clear when it comes to the agent of Ronald Koeman putting out a statement like this. Whatever the agent is going to be saying for the next 4 to 5 days at least, until we find the conclusion between Ronald Koeman and FC Barcelona, I would take that with a grain of salt. I do not necessarily believe that what he has put out to the media is true. There is a big probability that before they were going to go out and conclude this meeting and they knew that they were going to be encountering the press, Joan Laporta and the agent and Ronald Koeman had an agreement that we should not put any information out there and just say that we're just going to continue to move forward with Ronald Koeman and everything is fine. Because look, at the end of the day, the agent is there to protect Ronald Koeman. But then a couple of hours ago, a very interesting report did surface the media. But this is also a very contradicting report if you were to compare that to what the agent of Ronald Koeman did say. And this is what Catalunya Radio had to say. Barcelona has already started looking for replacements and have informed this to Ronald Koeman. In the next 15 days, if the club is still unable to finalize the arrival of a new coach, they will keep Koeman for another season. And what this statement is saying is this: the club does want to let go of Ronald Koeman and they do have a total of 15 days in order to find that replacement. And just looking at this, right, doesn't this seem very contradicting to what the agent of Ronald Koeman did say? So it's very hard to understand what's actually going on at this very moment. The only thing that we could do is speculate, have theories, give our own opinion on what could happen within the next 15 to 18 days, because not a lot of information did come out from this meeting. So because we are only doing speculation and theories, right, I do want to give one of my own, which I strongly believe is what's actually happening between the coach and FC Barcelona and Joan Laporta. And so here's the thing. In this meeting, Laporta and Ronald Koeman were probably talking about how does Koeman feel in this situation? What does he believe went wrong in the past season? And what does he need in this summer in order to strengthen the squad? And because we did see the agent right next to Ronald Koeman and we knew that he was in that meeting, they were also probably negotiating, okay, what would happen if Barcelona actually say that they no longer want to continue with Ronald Koeman? How much would they need to compensate this coach? Would it be 8 million euros? Would it be 9 million euros? How much money would it cost? And looking at Barcelona's current situation, they do want to know this answer. And this is probably one of the biggest factors and one of the biggest complications that Joan Laporta is going to have to face if they do come to a conclusion that they they do want to let go of Ronald Koeman. And so at the same time, I also strongly do believe that throughout these next 14 days and in the past 4 to 5 days, Joan Laporta has been and will be looking and will continue to be looking for a new coach. But the time frame is very small. And one of the main reasons why we are hearing that Joan Laporta only has a total of 15 days to decide on who is going to be the replacement of Ronald Koeman and who are going to be the options, it is because a contract renewal is waiting to be proposed towards Lionel Messi, a thing that Joan Laporta really does want to achieve very early in this summer. And like I have stated before you do propose that contract renewal and that sporting project towards Lionel Messi, you need to have an answer on who that coach is going to be. The biggest obstacle I do greatly see Joan Laporta and Matteo Allemani having is going to be that there is a lack of options in terms of replacing Ronald Koeman. Because if we talk about Hansi Flick, who is now considered as the national coach for Germany, he is out. When it comes to Nagelsmann, he is going to be the next coach of Bayern Munich, so he is out. Then moving on to Jurgen Klopp, he still has a contract with Liverpool for a total of 4 years, and I do not think that it would be in Klopp's interest to leave Liverpool at this very moment, so he is out. Then let's talk about Ten Hag. He has currently just renewed with Ajax and is very much looking forward towards working with that club, so he is out. And then is going to lead us towards the last 3 options. This is where it does get very interesting, right? Because one of the theories is Pep Guardiola. If he wins the final with Man City, does that mean that Guardiola finally finished his job with this club and is officially ready to move on? Or if he wins the final with Man City, does he want to continue to work with this club and make this club even stronger? That is going to be something that Joan Laporta is going to be wanting to know. So as of now, with Pep Guardiola, it is unknown. And then the last 2 options is going to be either Xavi Hernandez or Garcia Pimienta, where the club has talked about these 2 coaches, but there is mixed opinions. But one thing is for sure, at this very moment, Ronald Koeman's future is in the air. The replacement for this coach is going to be extremely hard to find, and Joan Laporta is listening to other opinions within the board on who they believe should be the replacement. And one thing is for sure, Joan Laporta's most desired coaches that he wishes to bring to Barcelona, it is going to come down towards Pep Guardiola and Xavi Hernandez. Moving on towards the next topic of today, and now we're going to be talking about Wijnaldum. So we do have the latest transfer news when it comes to Wijnaldum, and it says here, Wijnaldum will sign for Barcelona. The player has already made his decision and wants to play for the Catalan club. He will have a lower salary. The parties are working to finalize everything in the coming days. He will have a contract until June 2024. A couple of days ago, there were actually many other clubs that were interested in Wijnaldum, such as Inter Milan and Bayern Munich. And the fact that we are seeing Wijnaldum make the decision to go for FC Barcelona, this is something very similar to what we have seen with Sergio Dest, Bayern Munich, and FC Barcelona. The pulling power that Barcelona has to see that Barcelona have pulled away Wijnaldum from having negotiations with Bayern or Inter Milan is extraordinary. And many might assume, right, that the only reason why Wijnaldum chose Barcelona, it was because of Ronald Koeman. But here's the thing, it is quite clear that many do know that Koeman's future with Barcelona is in the air, and Wijnaldum probably does know that. And one of the biggest questions is going to be this: once Wijnaldum does come to FC Barcelona, who is he going to be replacing? And that one player is going to probably be Pjanic, because if there was one thing that Barcelona do need into the next season, it's not going to be another interior player. It is going to be a central defensive midfielder, and in England they do categorize Wijnaldum as a box-to-box type of midfielder, a player that can recover the ball immediately in our own defensive half and then exploit the spaces that the opposition does leave and then progress the ball forward. This is going to greatly help FC Barcelona. And the other factor is going to be this: what's actually going to be very key towards having Wijnaldum and the other midfielders in Barcelona, it is going to be the player management. If every player does have great rotation, consistent minutes, and these players do find the will to fight for their position, then there should be no problem with Wijnaldum being incorporated to the Barcelona midfield. The only time there would be a problem is if Wijnaldum does become a starter and takes away all of the minutes from the youngsters. That is where everything does become a red flag. But to incorporate Wijnaldum with the midfielders and having great healthy rotation and great player management, it can go very, very well. Because I remember 10 to 12 years ago, not many were complaining on Keita coming in for either Iniesta, Xavi Hernandez, or Sergio Busquets. The only reason why that midfield did work with Keita, it is because the player management was 100%. And then lastly, I do want to quickly talk about Sergio Busquets and Sergi Roberto. And it says here, according to Victor Nahe, in the coming days, the representatives of Sergi Roberto and Busquets will be meeting with the club to address their futures, which basically means this: Barcelona are going to want to negotiate with these 2 players and talk about, we need to lower your wages, we need to understand what your role is going to be in the club, and if you don't agree with this role, then we will be looking for other clubs for you. And there is nothing more to this story. The only reason why I wanted to bring this up is because I want to inform everyone that these are two players that will be meeting with the club very, very soon, and that we should find out about these two players and their futures and what could happen in the next few weeks. But that's going to be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.